In the remote Alaskan wilderness, where the icy wind whispered through towering evergreens, Daniel Ross lived a solitary life. A former military survivalist, he had settled into a quiet existence, running a small hunting lodge on the edge of civilization. Business was slow, but he found solace in the wild, where the untamed world spoke in a language he understood. One August morning in 2010, Daniel set out into the mountains, hoping to catch small game before winter tightened its grip. The cold bit through his jacket as he moved carefully through the frostbitten underbrush. Suddenly, a faint whimper broke the silence. Instincts sharpened by years of survival training kicked in, and he turned toward the sound. There, tangled in the grass, lay a small wolf cub, its fur matted with blood. Deep bite wounds covered its fragile body, evidence of an attack from another predator. Daniel hesitated. Interfering with nature was never wise. But as he knelt down and saw the fear and pain in the cub's golden eyes, he knew he couldn't leave it to die. Scooping the trembling animal into his arms, he made his way back to the lodge. He laid it gently on a pile of rags by the fireplace and rummaged through his medical supplies. His calloused hands, once accustomed to tending battlefield wounds, now worked carefully to clean and dress the cub's injuries. "You're gonna make it, little guy," he murmured. Over the following weeks, Daniel nursed the cub, whom he named Koda, back to health. He fed it raw meat, ensuring it regained strength. Koda soon became his shadow, trailing him around the lodge, curling up at his feet and nuzzling against his hand. Despite their bond, Daniel knew that Koda belonged in the wild. The day of release came. Daniel led Koda deep into the forest to a clearing where other wolves roamed. He knelt, running a hand through the thick fur. "Go on, buddy. This is your home now." Koda refused to leave. The first attempt failed. So did the second. Determined, Daniel took him 5 miles away and released him again, watching as the cub hesitated before disappearing into the wilderness. Months passed. Seasons changed. The memory of Koda remained, but Daniel had accepted the separation. Then, on a fateful winter afternoon, fate struck with a cruel hand. A sharp crack echoed through the trees. Without warning, a massive isolating branch snapped and crashed down. Daniel barely had time to react before he was pinned beneath its frozen weight. Pain exploded through his leg, locking him in place. The cold seeped into his bones, and as the hours dragged on, his strength waned. Alone, unable to move, he knew death was near. Then, through the haze of pain and exhaustion, a sound pierced the night, a long, haunting howl. Daniel forced his eyes open. Emerging from the swirling snow was a pack of wolves, their silhouettes ghostly in the moonlight. One broke from the group and moved toward him, golden eyes locked onto his. Recognition hit Daniel like a thunderbolt. "Koda!" The wolves moved with purpose, biting and tugging at the fallen branches, their powerful bodies pushing against the weight. Little by little, the log shifted until, after what felt like an eternity, Daniel could crawl free. But he was too weak to move. His body shivered violently, the cold stealing the last of his strength. Koda pressed against him, his warm breath misting in the frigid air. One by one, the wolves circled around Daniel, their thick coats forming a barrier against the deadly chill. Koda nuzzled his face, licking at his frozen skin, urging him to stay awake. Hours passed before Daniel found the strength to move. As he staggered home, he turned back, expecting to see the wolves watching. But they were gone, their only trace a series of paw prints disappearing into the snow-covered trees. Back at the lodge, wrapped in blankets by the fire, Daniel reflected on the night's events. He had once saved Koda's life, and in return, Koda had saved his. Loyalty, he realized, was not a trait exclusive to humans. It belonged to the wild as well. This story highlights the power of kindness, loyalty, and the deep bond between humans and animals. Compassion, even toward wild creatures, often comes back in unexpected ways. Daniel saved Koda's life, and when he needed help the most, Koda repaid him. This proves that trust and love go beyond species, and good deeds are never forgotten. If you enjoyed this story of survival and friendship, don't miss our next video for another heartwarming tale about humans and nature. Stay tuned.